We are here again at the house. Thought I'd show mixing up the stuff again. Again, this is a 90-minute quick set. And this particular stuff says it's light, still dries pretty hard. I've got the appropriate amount of water in here, and I'm only mixing up half a bag. Much better. So today is a Tuesday, and I just posted a video this morning. So this is the same day as that video, so I'm going to try to get another one out for you real soon. I'm using a drill. You set it down in this powerful setting, and I'm using this mixer. That works real good. You can do it by hand, but this is going to make it a lot easier. You want a pretty strong drill if you're doing this. After I mix this initially, what I do is I let it sit for a couple minutes, and that will hydrate all of the clumps, and then you mix it again. That's just the instructions off the bag. While the mix is setting for a second, I'll show you one of my little tools here. This is a drywall paper tape reel, so I like doing it that way. You just pop your roll on, just pin on there, and then this whole thing then just hooks onto your pants. When you're working your joints, you're able just to pull this out and apply it right to the wall, run it up joints, fold your corners, so when you using this tape, you can see it has a crease in the middle. You just take it, and then now you've got a piece for the corner. So this gets placed into the corners, which is what we're going to work on first today, but that's good to kind of see that up close. So I'll just strip this off, kind of run it down, and then when I get to the bottom, I'll just place my knife against my drywall knife against the wall on the tape, and then you just tear it. It doesn't need to be perfectly neat. Down at the floor beneath, a half inch from the floor, I'd all be behind baseboards anyway. I'm going to work this left corner first. Hopefully you can see everything. I'm just going to let the camera roll. First one for today, a little slower than the others. Pop the camera off the tripod to show you what I'm working with, and then I'll just start rolling on the rest. So I apply the mud to the corners first, fold the tape, tuck it in, and then I come back and finish one corner. And what I mean by finish one corner is I cover one and kind of feather it out the best I can. You can see the tape there is bedded in, and then I go over it. Now this one I went over this one, then covered it up. Once this is hardened, I can come back and dress this side down. it is another day, a lot colder today, so I've got the heat running all day probably, and I've got a lot of work ahead of me, so I want to go ahead and show you what we're doing and see how far we get. I'm now on to my all-purpose compound. I'm using Ultralight. So I'm buying this brand at Lowe's, Proform. I think USG is sold at Home Depot. But I am starting to use the all-purpose. This is the lightweight stuff that will be sanded. So this is the second coat, and filling in screw holes. And in this room I started filling in all of the tapered joints, which I think it's better to probably do the butt joints first. So kind of caught onto that as I was doing it, and just finished this room as is, and then came into the kitchen. So you can see this butt joint over here, I've brought that out a little compared to the one on the ceiling. Part of that one. So a lot of this stuff is going to be behind cabinets, so I don't need to fill holes like up here and down below the cabinets. But right there where the wall is going to be, if you're not putting a backsplash, you need to go ahead and finish all that off. Here's another one that's filled, been widened up. So for this I'm using my 12-inch knife, and I'll probably just use my 12-inch knife for everything. I have seen these rubber floats that they have at the store for doing knockdown texture. I'm just doing a smooth texture to the whole house. But I was kind of curious. I have this right here. I haven't tried it yet, but this is a squeegee, and that's probably, I don't know, 14 to 16 inches long. I think something like this would work good because it's nice and flexible, just for kind of smoothing things out. Now I'm just kind of running my mouth here, but I saw that thing and I thought that that would be good for smoothing down these joints, especially if you bent a slight curve into it. I think that's pretty much it. The only other thing that I've kind of had an observation of, I did some internet brushing up last night on some drywall stuff. That's one of the only things I'm kind of doing online right now, other than my YouTube and other stuff of my own, is I've had to look up some stuff about drywall. And one thing, so how I did it is I mud in the corner, crease the tape, put it in, and then I finish off one side. But I'm finishing off that one side with my fast setting compound. So unless this is flawlessly laid in there, it's going to be hard to kind of sand that. So I was going to finish this off and then finish this off. I should have just set the tape in there with the fast setting and then come back with the premix, because that's going to be way easier to sand. But just how I did it. So luckily I only did it to part of the joints in the house. All of the ceiling joints, which are the hardest ones to work in my opinion, all that will be done in the premix. So let me get going. it's the end of another day and perhaps the end of this video. That's one thing I want to ask you all about is, do you like videos coming out this frequently? Is this enough progress? It's a ton of work, but is it enough progress in y'all's mind to post videos this frequent? I don't want to water things down with too many drywall videos, for example. So you let me know what you think. We'll go ahead and end things showing the progress. I've got all of the screws filled. All of the butt joints in the house have been brought out to their next width. All of the tapers have been filled. Next, I need to keep bringing the butt joints out wider and start to work on the corners, the wall corners and the ceiling to wall corners. In the bathroom, I did put up one of the outside corners. You can see there, and the style corner that I'm using. Again, paper on the, it's blurry, but you can see it. There it is. Paper on the outside and then a metal on the inside. So the outside of that bead is raised so that you can knife right off that edge. So I went ahead and set it and then finished off both sides. This side is a little cruder, just at a weird angle. So I'm gonna have to go over things again there, but that got it set. Got this big long joint that got a little messed up, fixed on the ceiling. Again, all the screw holes patched, and then I'm working on the back side of this door. When I get up in areas like that, and I had two joints, like one here and one here, where I kind of used some short pieces, I just went ahead and I just skim coat the whole darn thing. But yeah, looking good, to me at least. Working on my little mistake when I was trying to put that hole through the ceiling and hammered up through the ceiling in the wrong spot. I kind of jammed some compound in there with several layers of mesh in it, and I kind of build up a glob and then kind of get it up in there and then let it set a little bit and then push it in there, and then I'll come back over that with some mesh or tape or something. Let's go elsewhere. Hold on a second. Probably be something I should edit out. Take the light with us. Got the heater going on full blast, trying to dry this compound because this kind it dries, it doesn't harden. So the other kind is a chemical. This is just once it dries, it's dry. So in here, same deal. All the butt joints, let me get down low. They're coming out pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with them. Let's see if I can get a shadow on them. You can still see them, of course. They'll get widened out. Everything is going to get primed and then sprayed white in this house. This is a rental. I paint them all white. I think it's nice and bright. My whole house is painted white that I live in. I like it. I think you can add color into your house other ways, but I like white walls myself, and it is a rental. Paint it any color other than white and somebody's going to have a problem with it. So that's just a standard thing to do. And white is nice. It really hides a lot of stuff. So any kind of unevenness, because it's not only the unevenness of my drywall job, there's differences in the walls. The walls like this one right here was an existing wall already. So those were old style 2x4s, and then I've got new style 2x4s, which are a little narrower. So you've got a little bend in some of the walls. So yeah, probably too much explanation. Sorry about all this. Probably making y'all dizzy. Butt joints. Butt joints. Recess lighting again. Had somebody say they noticed that in the last video. Let's take a look at the laundry room. For whatever reason, the laundry room is one of my favorite parts of the house. I don't know why. Also got asked on Instagram how wide the laundry room is. It is 4.5 feet wide by about 10 feet long. And they commented that that seems kind of tight to have a washer and dryer. Well, what I'm thinking, you can see where the dryer vents through the wall back there, that hole through the wall. I want to put a stackable unit there. Then the wires and the drain line will come around and then connect into all the connections. So you will walk straight up to the washer and dryer, and then the hot water tank will be right there to the left. I'll probably get one of the tall skinny ones, and then it will hook up to, you can see the water lines, and then the power comes out of that box. Other than that, there'll be some sort of shelving in here. probably be a place where a ironing board is hanging on the wall. Then I'm going to cut a piece of plywood that screws to cover up this. I want access to that. If anything ever happens, I can access the back of the tub nice and easy. I also got asked about flooring recently. That is up for debate. If y'all have some opinions, let me know. My thought is some sort of snap together floor that is durable, perhaps waterproof. You know, linoleum in here in the kitchen. Obviously, it's not going to get some sort of real hardwood put down. I'm not going to tile anything. So it has to be something that is somewhat easy to replace. I was originally thinking I might do some carpet, but that could just get too nasty. Then at the same time, you've got those renters that love carpet. If they're clean enough, it's not that bad, but carpet in the bedroom maybe. I don't know. Probably what I'll do is I'll get some sort of laminate flooring that snaps together and put it everywhere in the whole house. I think that would be the easiest thing to keep clean. My question is how durable would it be? Getting questions about coax and the phone lines. Why didn't I use the Cat 5 again? I just didn't. If somebody really wants to do that, I don't know. It's just not going to be that kind of house. It's just not going to be that kind of renter. I know that's a weird thing to say maybe to some of you, but that's just not going to be the case. Somebody will probably have a landline. The internet will come in through that. And at most, they may have a satellite, and that will come in through the coax. So I have it run here to where this will be over top the kitchen counter, so they could put wireless router type stuff could be there. There's also coax connection will be on the other side of this wall and the inside the bedroom on the other side of this wall. So I think that's it. I usually say I think that's it about 10 times before one of my videos ends. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to check the links in the description below, including a link to my book. I'm also writing another book. I don't know if I mentioned that already. Yes, I did, about wholesaling. I want to do an audio book version of the one I'm doing now. I've actually already started. It's about halfway done. People have been asking about a paperback version as well. You can do that through Amazon, but I haven't done all that yet. It's kind of a lot to fool with when you pile it on everything else. I also have the other YouTube channel, The Homestead Craftsman. Also over 100,000 subscribers on that one as well. Lots of furniture making. So if you enjoy this type of stuff, same host, different topics. So check it out if you're interested. All those links will be in the description below as well. So thanks for watching. See you next time.
A bird is only as good as its last flap.